beautiful afternoon for baseball here at Roger Dean Stadium. It's Spring Training 2016. The St. Louis Cardinals have their BJC Healthcare difference maker in the lineup today. That's Randall Grichuk. Off to a great start. He'll bat cleanup. Baseball next. This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball from Roger Dean Stadium in Jupiter, Florida. It's the Minnesota Twins and the St. Louis Cardinals. And welcome to Cardinals baseball. That's the Cardinals Hall of Famer, Jim Edmonds. I'm Dan McLaughlin. And here we go, Jimmy, about halfway through spring training. What's really stood out for you thus far?
Well, what I'm watching right now is just to see how Yadier Molina progresses. And this is the second time around for the pitching staff. See how these guys are getting a little bit sharper each time. And actually the whole team, as they go along, look for every person to progress in his own speed, but yet also getting ready for that opening day, which is all the most important day of the year.
So it's the second start of this spring training for Mike Leake, who signed the big free agent deal with St. Louis. The $80 million man is on the mound, and baseball is next. Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser, by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket you play gives back to schools across Missouri, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. Umpires are on the scene. Lineups have been exchanged, and we're just about set to go. With Cardinals Hall of Famer Jim Edmonds, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Glad that you're with us. Wherever you may be, sit back and enjoy spring training baseball. There's a look at Mike Matheny. Guided his team to 100 wins last year, the top regular season mark in all of baseball. On the other side, really a surprising year and a good year for the Minnesota Twins. There's the Hall of Famer, Paul Molitor. He replaced Ron Gardenhire after the 2014 season. Finished third last year in the American League Manager balloting behind Jeff Bannister and A.J. Hinch. A look at his lineup here today. And a couple of top prospects are in there, some of the regulars as well. Jorge Polanco, a switch hitter. Then Eddie Rosario, Trevor Plouffe. Kenny Vargas will serve as the DH. Byung-Ho Park, Oswaldo Arcia, Eduardo Escobar, John Hicks, and Max Kepler. They have 6 left-handed bats in this lineup, Jimmy. And if you look at the numbers last year for Mike Leake, 262 the lefties hit against him, 218 against righties, so this will be a good test for him.
You bring a group of guys down in spring training, and you try to bring who you need to bring, but you also got to start matching guys up with what's on the mound. So it's interesting. Bring a bunch of left-handers over, but it'll be a good test for Mike today. I think that still spring training, but good thing to get some work in and work through what you had problems with in the past.
Sure. And Mike Leake makes his second spring start. Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers as we take a look and go around the horn at the Cardinals defense here today. Anthony Garcia, another start. Cardinals really like what they've seen from him. He's in left. Randall Grichuk off to a great spring start in center. Steven Piscotty is in right. Matt Carpenter, Jed Jerko, Greg Garcia, and Matt Holliday along the infield. Yadier Molina is behind the plate. Cardinals still trying to figure out who could play short every day. So you're seeing a combination of Aledmus Diaz and Jed Jerko just about every day in spring training to see who could be that regular when we start playing Pittsburgh.
And then you got Greg at second, and you get him in the lineup at the same time. Little competition maybe on the offensive side to see what they do against the same type of pitching.
And the first pitch is in there for a strike to Jorge Polanco. He signed as an international free agent back in 2009. Was called up to the major leagues in June of 2014. And he's considered their number 6 prospect by Baseball America as Molina gives that a look, and it's hit out of play. 0-2. As a defender, and you were a great one, 8-time Gold Glover, you would love playing behind a guy like Mike Leake who works so quickly.
The only bad thing for a center fielder, I like the ball. He doesn't give up a lot of fly balls, but yeah, get in, get out, I just love the fact that it keeps the defense on their toes, and you can never say that enough, and that's just one of those things a guy that works fast does for you.
0-2 pitch, just missed.
You're seeing a really tight zone in this spring training, and in my opinion.
I've noticed that too.
Maybe it's just my angle from the booth up here is a little different now.
Here's a 1-2, 2-2. A lot of times you'll see a wider zone, just try to get the games moving, get guys their work in. And many times, as we've talked about, hitters are taking pitches because they're trying to get their timing down. That's off the end of the bat, little squibber. Carpenter bare hands. Nice play. The stretch by Holliday for the out. That's do or die, and he came up with it.
Looked like a nice changeup right there by Mike. Just a good pitch. It looks like a fastball coming in there. Just kind of dies right at the end. And the best thing is, as a hitter, you think you got a great pitch to hit, and then it just doesn't get there. Oops.
Yep.
Ground ball. See you later.
Here's Eddie Rosario. 24-year-old made his debut at Minnesota last year. He's in center field today. More than likely, Byron Buxton will be their everyday center fielder, who's still only 22 and considered one of the best prospects in baseball. One out, nobody on, and a fastball swung on and missed.
Are you still a prospect when you're in the big leagues?
It's interesting. I was thinking that earlier, too, because you look at the different ratings, and some of these guys have spent 2, 3, 4 months in the major leagues, and yet they're listed as prospects.
I would like to get off that list and become a professional or a big leaguer or an all-star or something.
Everyday player.
Everyday player. No more prospect.
Swung on and missed. Leake carves up Rosario. Tom Bernansky is the hitting coach for the Minnesota Twins. And remember, it was a shocking deal at the time with the Cardinals in Minnesota back in 1988. The Twins traded Bernansky for Tommy Herr. And then the Cardinals eventually traded Tom to Boston for closer Lee Smith. So a little tie-in to the Twins and the Cardinals here today. And there's Neil Allen as well, who Was part of a big deal with the Mets and Cardinals in the early 80s. 0-2 on Trevor Plouffe.
Can you have a better manager than Paul Molitor as a fan, as a player, young player, someone to look up to?
And think about what he means to that community. He was born and raised in the Minnesota area.
If you're my age and you were watching baseball, there couldn't have been a better person to watch hit. All the different things he did, spread out, 2 strikes, hit the ball the other way, a little bit of power. World Series champion, I believe, when he was with the Blue Jays, 2 years in a row?
2 years in the early 90s.
And just one of those guys that was just amazing to watch.
9th all-time in hits, 3,319. That's a lot of hits. Boy, Mike Leake has looked great so far in spring. That's that knuckle curve, and he gets a couple of strikeouts. Cardinals coming up in the home half of the first. Matheny's club here today. Matt Carpenter, Stephen Piscotty, Matt Holliday in the first. Then Randall Grichuk, Jed Jerko, Matt Adams, 2 Garcias, Anthony and Greg, and then Yadier Molina. Against left-hander Tommy Malone, a 29-year-old that pitched at USC and was originally drafted by the Nationals back in the 2008 draft. And last year he was 9-5 with Minnesota. It looks like he'll be a part of their rotation again this year. What's been interesting is to see all the shifts against Matt Carpenter, who can spray the ball everywhere. Very good bat control, but a lot of shifts against him to start this spring training. And there's a pop-up into shallow left center. And the center fielder, Eddie Rosario, cuts in front of Arcia to make the catch, 1 away.
You know, what you don't see in up here or even watching the game on TV is in the locker room or in the dugout, they have a chart for the hitters. They have an outfield chart and an infield chart, and sometimes it'll look completely opposite. A left-hander will hit a bunch of ground balls to the right side and a bunch of fly balls to the left side. Sometimes you'll see that. It'll be pretty interesting to watch during the course of the season to see shifted one way versus the other way in the outfield and the infield.
There's Stephen Piscotty on the left elbow. He was hit the other day, then was taken for x-rays precautionary, and you see he's got that protective gear on today. Everything's okay, and he's back in the lineup this afternoon. Hitting .412, no home runs, and he's driven in 3 this far this spring. And primarily has batted second in the lineup for the Cardinals. Here's the 0-1. The options in the rotation for Minnesota, you have Irvin Santana, who was great down the stretch last year. Phil Hughes, Kyle Gibson, Tyler Duffy, Ricky Nolasco. That's pulled foul. As you're finding out, Steven is a fairly quiet guy. but really has made great adjustments at the plate, as we saw with his power numbers last year when he was called up. Good kid. Outfield is deep and a 1-2. Tied him up for the strikeout. A look at Minnesota defensively with Arcia in left, Rosario in center. Kepler is in right. Plouffe, Escobar, Polanco, and Park on the infield. John Hicks is behind the plate. That's presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. The numbers last year in just 73 games for Holiday. And we're seeing him play just about every day when he's in the lineup at first base. Cardinals will face Francisco Liriano. That's been named as the opening day starter for the Pirates. So certainly you could see Holiday at first base that opening day, and that's Sunday afternoon, and we'll have that for you right here on Fox Sports Midwest. A 1-2-3 inning for Malone. No score as we head to the second. Mike Leake gets your work in, and the Cardinals trying to sort out the outfield, get the at-bats for various guys that they have. There's a strike taken by Kenny's Vargas. Switch hitting DH. Hits from this side of the plate, I think, of David Ortiz.
I was just going to say, does he remind you of anybody?
6'5", 275 pounds. 25-year-old from Puerto Rico, had 14 home runs last year. And he grounds it to the right side, taken there by Holiday. Flips to Leake for the out. Still coming into the ballpark. Sun is shining brightly, and a beautiful afternoon here at Roger Dean Stadium. Players who wore number 8. That's the number that Mike Leake has gotten. Some Hall of Famers on that list.
How many pitchers on that list?
Well, you don't see many single-digit numbers with pitchers.
I laughed at him when I walked into the first day in spring training. I said, "You going to play shortstop this year?"
Kind of looks like a middle infielder, too. He's not a big guy.
Yeah, and very athletic, too, and loves to hit. It'll be fun to watch him swing the bat and get some sacrifices and move some guys around this year on the offensive side, too.
Good curveball. Take it for a ball.
Didn't miss by much right there. He's around the plate, that's for sure.
This is the big free agent signing by Minnesota this past offseason. Young-Ho Park had back-to-back 50-plus home run seasons while playing in Korea. 52 2 years ago, 53 last year. And that's the first time that's ever happened in Korean baseball history. The 2-2 is hit out of play. And what teams have to do, they have to post a number to try to get a particular player coming from the Korean Baseball Association. And Minnesota was able to pick him up. They outbid everybody else for nearly $13 million. And then they signed him for 4 years and $12 million. Now imagine if he puts up numbers, the bargain that is. And a strikeout. Couldn't pull the trigger. He strikes out. And that's 3 already for Mike Leake.
Mike Leake, that's a great pitch right here. Trying to get inside. Got the ball a little bit up, but just enough to keep you from really getting that bat out. And see Yachty drop the ball, but it looked like it cut a little bit on him too. So
he's your prototypical pitch maker, is he not?
So, yeah, he's hitting the spots, mixing stuff up. Will get me over breaking ball at times, bounce a breaking ball late in the count, just move the ball around. It keeps you guessing if you're hitting.
Oswaldo Arcia. Good curveball in again. 1 ball, 1 strike. Arcia, the former Twins minor league hitter of the year in 2012. Last year played in just 19 games for Minnesota. Finished the year at AAA, and he is battling for a bench spot. The 2-1 pitch.
You gotta like that right there. He threw a first pitch breaking ball, didn't throw it for a strike, threw it again, get me over. Hitter's not looking for that. Then gets behind and throws another one.
Molina sets up outside. Leake hits his spot, just missed. 3-2. Let's see what he comes with on 3-2.
Wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to the breaking ball right here just to see what he's got. Nope.
On a hop to second baseman, Greg Garcia is on the outfield grass. So good start for Mike Leake. 6 up, 6 down. Randall Grichuk, what a spring he's had so far. Leads it off when we come back. The second here at Roger Dean Stadium, and there's no score between the Twins and Cardinals. Next spring training telecast will be Friday at noon. The Tigers make their way to Jupiter. They signed Jordan Zimmerman in the offseason. Justin Verlander finished up pitching well in 2015. We'll see the Tigers on Friday afternoon. Here's Randall Grichuk, who has 9 hits this spring and hits a rocket to short. Escobar had to back up and makes the play. You've seen a lot with Randall. You've worked a lot with Randall. He's got the potential to have a big, big year.
Very quiet and very humble kid, too. I like he just goes about his job, does his work. You know, when he's not playing and the team's on the road, he just disappears, and you wonder where he went. Well, he's either in the cage or he's in the weight room. So I think he's got a good work ethic already, and just, you know, hone those skills as far as mental approach and just getting smarter each day is going to be the key for him.
Here's Jed Jerko, looks at a strike from Malone.
Of course, he's got an amazing number.
Coming from 115 to the other. Did you give me any trouble about that, wearing your number?
No, I actually didn't, because I didn't know how he was going to take it. So I just wanted to just kind of leave that alone for a while.
You were actually quiet with the guy?
Maybe now that I know him a little bit better, I'll,
get after him.
Yeah. If he starts struggling, I might get after him a little bit.
Here's a 2-1 pitch to Jed Jerko, hitting an even 200 this spring. And it's 2-2. This is the third start for Tommy Milone here in spring. Last start, 1 run, 4 hits in 2 innings against Pittsburgh. And he piled up the innings a season ago in that rotation for Minnesota. 2-2. Pulled foul. Jed Jerko for John Jay this past offseason. Jay was San Diego. And Jed pretty consistent for the most part. What you're going to get in terms of power, you will see it out in front. And the grounded to short. I've seen that both these pitchers really change speeds well, getting these hitters out in front.
Yeah, both guys being ground ball guys, moving the ball around. You can already see he's throwing a lot of change-ups. He's not afraid to get the guys to hit the ball and put the ball in play and move it, the next guy up. Just keep moving around and keeping your defense ready. I mean, that is so understated some days. Just keeping everyone in the game, just making the game go by quicker, getting the offense back in there to hit.
Matt Adams against a lefty and a shift. Did this the other day. Dropped down a bunt. This one, though, is fielded by Malone, and he makes the play. So Adams is retired. 6 up, 6 down for Tommy Milone. We head to the third. And there's no score from Roger Dean Stadium. Mike Leake warms up quickly, does everything quickly. First pitch is strike to Eduardo Escobar, switch hitting shortstop. He's a 27-year-old utility player, seen time with both the White Sox and Twins in the major leagues. And he came to the Twins in 2012 as part of the Francisco Liriano deal. And Escobar really stepped up at short last couple of years for Minnesota. They've had Pedro Florimon, Danny Santana. That hasn't worked out. And there's a check swing and a strike. How about this? Mike Leake has faced 7 and struck out 4. Stay connected all spring long. MLB.com at Bat app. Radio broadcast, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat. #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet.
We've got a little minor league action going on. Someone is the K-man today. Look in the minor leagues, they pick a guy to be the strikeout guy, and everyone in the place gets a free beer if he strikes out 3 times. I think they're giving something away if someone strikes out today, and I think we just had one.
Here is John Hicks.
The good old days.
Hey, any way to get people to the ballpark. Enjoy the game.
You don't want to be the K-man when you're hitting.
No. Hicks a ground ball to second. There's Greg Garcia, makes the play. Quickly 2 outs, and it brings in Max Kepler. Kepler rated the #3 prospect in the Twins organization by Baseball America. And the Twins, it'll be interesting to see how they want to play it this year with their corner spots and also in the outfield. Torrey Hunter retired. They traded Aaron Hicks. And Kepler is an interesting story. He's a son of American and Polish dancers. He singled on the final day of last season and became the first player born and raised in Germany with a big league hit. Now, there's been players that were born there. Their parents maybe were in the military and then they came back over the States and grew up here, but he was born and raised in Germany. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Edwin Jackson was one of those.
Love, man.
I think Bruce Bochy was born in Germany, too.
So you're saying there's not a lot of scouts over there for the MLB?
No, not a lot at all. That's what he did in the minor leagues last year, and he was a Southern League MVP at AA Chattanooga. 1 ball and 2 strikes. How about changing the eye level, too? Leake has been able to do that.
Up and down, yeah. I mean, sometimes you get the ball down, change-ups down, and then all of a sudden you rush a fastball up, and hitter almost has to panic.
That's a good example right there. Late movement against a lefty, cut it back in, and a strikeout. Leake is perfect through 3, and he has 5 strikeouts. Couple of the everyday outfielders there talking. Stephen Piscotty on the left and Randall Grichuk there on the right. And so far the pitching has been the story in this game. Tommy Malone, his 3rd inning of work. Here's Anthony Garcia, who leads the club in total bases with 16 this spring. He's opened up some eyes.
He definitely has. He's been hitting the ball really hard even when he's making outs. So that's the key. That starts the eye-opening experience.
2 hops to third. Trevor Plouffe. Wide throw and the stretch there by Park.
string a couple of days of swinging the bat really well. Open some eyes. He plays some good defense, and you never know. You end up like Albert Pujols, and you burst on the scene, and everyone says, how can we send this kid down? He's just having such a great spring.
Is he the best hitter you ever played with?
Probably. I've never seen a guy that can hit. He had an ability to swing down on a fastball and swing up at a fastball, and that's, see it on the right side and see it on the left side, but never on the same side.
Garcia with a fly ball into center. That ball carries a bit. And taken there by Rosario. That didn't just carry a bit, it carried a lot.
That ball pretty good. What I was saying is Albert had that ability to really go down and get a ball and swing like a right-hander, but at the same time when he needed to, he had a kind of an uppercut like a normal left-hander would have, and that's what made him so successful, is he could go get pitches and drive them, and then if you hang it, he can swing up through it and hit the ball, pull the ball into the seats.
Here's Molina. We'll see if he swings the bat after the fly out by Garcia. It's been the big question. We're waiting for him to swing in live action. He has been hitting off the tee and soft toss and against the machine. I never saw a guy be able to pull the ball like Pujols could to keep it fair on a pitch that looked like it was going to hit his hip. Incredible.
Keeping your hands inside the ball, that's what they teach, but it is not easy to do. It is definitely a difficult task to stay inside the ball all the time.
2 balls, 1 strike on Yadier Molina. I think we may be getting an indication that Yadi will not swing. Numbers last year, he had 270, 4 home runs. The 2-2. And he strikes out. So Malone with 2 strikeouts, both pitchers perfect through 3. We head to the 4th, and there's no score. The story so far, Mike Leake, Tommy Malone, 2 guys that be in the rotation for their respective clubs. What have you seen from Leake today?
Well, you're seeing everything. I mean, he's literally struck 5, 6 guys out with 4 or 5 different pitches. You see cutters, slider, breaking ball. You see the sinker, backdoor cutter. I mean, he's just stayed around the plate, but every single pitch is something different.
Get me over breaking ball. Just out of the lineup, Jorge
just gives
Polanco.
You enough to keep you off balance. He's not throwing real hard, but you can't really zone something and get comfortable.
Do you find that hitting against these type of pitchers, Tommy Malone will top out at 88. Leake is around 91, 92. Facing these kind of guys instead of a guy throwing 96, 98 was harder sometimes. That's held on to by Molina, and folks, that is 6 strikeouts for Mike Leake.
I think it's easier for me. It was easy for me to really slow my body down and look for something to hit. I was good at being able to get the ball up in the zone and really trying to drive the ball the other way. The problem is a lot of these guys that are pull hitters have to be out in front of pitches, and that's when you're cheating or you're out in front of pitches, you can't rely on letting the ball travel. So if you can let the ball travel, you have a better chance. And then, you know, guys that throw hard, but I didn't mind guys like this. It's just a different, everyone's different, and this was just one of my things that I could do decently.
Eddie Rosario, third baseman Carpenter is in, and a base hit to the right side. So the first hit in this game, Eddie Rosario.
Hitting a guy like this is just discipline. It's just understanding your swing and really just wanting the ball in the zone and being able to take pitches knowing that you feel that he doesn't have really a pitch that will put you personally away. And you know, for me, I would just think to myself, I'm going to get a pitch to hit. I'm going to get a pitch to hit. And that also plays into his favor, too, where he just keeps pounding the zone in and out. And you think you're ready to go, and you roll over a ground ball, and next guy up.
There's Trevor Plouffe. Rosario is a threat to steal. He actually led the American League in triples last year and missed the first month of the season in the minor leagues. Plouffe was called out on strikes his first time up. Just showed you that graphic that Mike Leake is joining one of the better staffs in all of baseball, collectively with an ERA that's under 3. And the starters had an ERA of 2.99, half run better than all but 2 teams in the major leagues last year. Good pitch in on his hands, 0-2.
See Yachty there motioning, maybe trying to come inside or just kind of looking to see who moved, and only the third baseman and the left fielder moved a little bit, so he was probably trying to get Carp's attention. But that's something as a player on the field you have to pay attention to a little bit more than just sitting there watching the game. You got to know where the pitcher's going to go with each pitch.
The 0-2. Missed, but not by a lot. Trevor Plouffe began his Twins career as a shortstop in 2010. Now a third baseman. He's played all over the diamond. Former 20th overall pick in 2004 as he passed up a deal from USC. Runner was going, and it's tapped foul. Mentioned earlier how the Twins have a logjam of hitters at their corner spots. They've got Park, who they signed as a free agent, Plouffe, Sano, Joe Mauer, Miguel Sano, young man that has unbelievable power, will move to an outfield spot this year. As Jimmy talked about, Mike Leake can get a ground ball. Let's see if he can't get that double play. Cardinals start with a right-hander getting loose in their pen. Pitch count will be number 50 coming up. And a high fly ball lifted out to deep left field. Going back, Garcia with room. Up against the wall. And did he drop it? I'm going to say he dropped it. Runner trying to go from first to third and is out. Confusion on the play. A late call by the umpire at second base, who almost ran into the runner.
I actually took my eye off the ball there for a split second to see how far the runner was off first base. Surprised that he didn't tag, but now you know why. Have to see the replay to see what's really going on. He does a great job right here. You got to take your chance. You either tag or you get halfway. With one out, he's probably trying to figure out if he can score or not. And then sometimes it's better to stay at second than trying to go for the extra base.
So confusion on that play. Now it's Kenny's Vargas against the shift. And Vargas pops it back and foul.
That just goes to show you how quickly you have to make decisions out here. Yep. Dropped the ball when he hit the wall. The ball popped out of his glove. As a runner there, you almost panic, you know. You think, oh, he dropped the ball, I need to be at third. And sometimes you just have to pull back and take one base at a time.
Throw down to first and back in safely. Trevor Plouffe. When you were playing first base, did you and Yachty have different signs on those types of plays?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes, yes. He wants to know from the first baseman if you think that the runner's getting too big of a lead. And just sometimes if he gets a ball that's on that side of the plate, he's watching every lead. And in order to throw, the ball has got to be delivered to him on the first base side of home plate, or he can't throw into the runner. So he sometimes will just take that chance. If that ball's going to carry over behind the hitter, he's already got a lane to throw. If not, he can't. So sometimes you get a little chance to get the first baseman, and then other times he's just going out there on his own and throwing the ball. You just got to keep your eyes on him.
Here's a 2-1 pitch to Vargas. Lined into center field, and a diving catch by Randall Grichuk. My partner did that a time or two. Jim Edmonds-esque in center field by Randall Grichuk. Nice play. Looks to be the everyday center fielder for the Cardinals this year. Comes up with that catch. Takes a hit away from Vargas. To the bottom of the fourth inning from Roger Dean Stadium in Jupiter, Florida. It'll be Carpenter, Piscotty, and Holiday for the Cardinals against Tommy Malone, who's yet to allow a hit. You know, it was interesting. We saw between innings Paul Molitor go out and visit with C.B. Buckner, the home plate umpire, and I'm sure that conversation was about his runner getting tangled up with Angel Hernandez. Regular season play, you wonder how much Molitor would have pushed the issue a little bit. And there's a fly out to Arcia, and Carpenter is 0 for 2.
That just goes to show you how much is going on out there. Like I said, the runner gets confused, the umpire's confused, the players are confused. I think that things happen so fast out there, it can mess everyone up.
That drops in for a strike to Stephen Piscotty. Oh, and 2. Let's take it high. Piscotty struck out first time up, and a 1-2 pitch. In on his hands and fouled back. Let's go back to the play we're talking about. Tied up here a little bit with Angel Hernandez.
So you see right there, Angel's just walking. He's like, uh-oh. I think it just caught everybody off guard.
Sure.
Because he did catch the ball, and then it squirted out when he ran into the fence.
1-2 is a breaking ball lifted into right, and Piscotty lines out to Max Kepler. Saturday, UFC Fight Night returns to FS1. Two heavyweight legends will collide. UFC Fight Night begins Saturday at 6:30 only on FS1, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. You know, the voice of the Cardinals, Mike Shannon, came in here, and we're trying to figure out if that play would go 7-6-5, which is what I think it was, which is the shortstop on the relay. Or was it Garcia, your second baseman, with the throw to third? Regardless, runner was out at third.
It's like the Godfather was tapping me on the shoulder. I thought it was some random person. I look up, boy. Sorry.
That's Mike Shannon. Great to see him back down here. So many years, the Cardinals as a player and broadcaster, and into the Cardinals Hall of Fame. 1 ball, 1 strike on Matt Holliday. Popped up and hit out of play.
He's had some really good swings this spring. He is really close to start driving some pitches. And that's what as a veteran hitter, you don't really want your home runs and your base hits in the first week. You don't want to really be locked in. You want to work towards opening day. For me, sometimes if you get hot early, you almost get complacent. You'd rather have something to work for every day than open up spring training hot and then just kind of sit around, and you almost, hopefully you go into a little bit of a slump before the season starts and get it out of the way.
Sure. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You see a lot of these veterans, and Holliday's been doing this a lot, taking pitches too, just to track the ball. I mean, he knows he's got a spot, so get himself ready for the season.
Oh, look at that guy.
Jim Jackson there on the left, and our buddy Rick Horton on the right. He'll be with us on pre- and post-game shows and some of the games. That's slicing in the right center field. That ball will get down, and the Cardinals have their first hit. Extra bases for Holliday, trotting into second base. 2 out, stand-up double. I think, Jimmy, that's a good example of what you were talking about early, where you are able to stay back a little bit, and it's not the guy throwing hard, but you let the ball get deep as a hitter.
Well, that's the thing that Matt Holliday does so well, is he lets the ball get deep. So a guy like this won't bother him as much as, you know, as a right-hander, sinker ballers and guys with a little bit of velocity, that the ball will get on you in a hurry. You have to make that decision really quick. Matt Holliday is not a pull hitter, so he can sit back, and he's got enough power to stay behind the ball and drive the ball out in right center field. It's the guys that rely on having to pull home runs, or the guys that this guy will give trouble to. Tommy will give trouble to a guy that really is trying to spin on the ball too much, and you just have to try and stay back. And this is something you got to teach the young hitters.
Here's Randall Grichuk. Hit a screamer to short first time up. He's 0 for 1. Holliday, your runner at second base.
Sometimes you see, you look at the miles per hour on the scoreboard, and as a young player, you think, oh, slow pitch softball. It doesn't work like that at the big league level.
Here's a 1-1 after a long look, and Grichuk pops it up into shallow right field. Max Kepler is under it. I believe Seth Maness is coming on for the Cardinals, and we are scoreless after 4 innings here at Roger Dean Stadium in Jupiter, Florida. Allow fans to celebrate a common interest while enjoying access to a unique promotional item or exclusive pregame event. And this year's theme nights include Star Wars Night, Nurses Night, American Girl Night, Grateful Dead Night, and much more. For information or to purchase, visit Cardinals.com/theme. Arm has been barking a little bit lately for Seth Maness, so not a lot of opportunities to be in live action. Did throw a bullpen a couple of days ago. Came out of that just fine. And we know that this guy has been a workhorse for the Cardinals. If you look back to the last 3 seasons, 215 appearances. 8th most in all of baseball. 1 ball, 1 strike on Park. He struck out against Mike Leake his first time up. Leake, great job by Mike. He struck out 6 in 4 innings of work. The 2-1 pitch. Park lines it over Garcia and into right center field. Grichuk gets there quickly and back into the infield to hold him to a single.
Just goes to show you what a good hitter he is. They tried to go inside 2 or 3 times in a row off the plate, get him to speed up, and then tried to go away. He wasn't biting. He stayed right on top of the pitch, and that's actually a really good piece of hitting, because usually a hitter will try to speed himself up, thinking they're trying to pitch you inside, and then he just waited for his pitch and drive the ball into right center field. It's a good at bat.
Here's Oswaldo Arcia. Our game is being broadcast nationally in Korea today, where it's 3 in the morning.
Better watch what you say.
Better watch it. Those fans want to see Park. They want to see O of the Cardinals. This is where Maness is so good, trying to get that double play. The 1-1. Just pounds that sinker time and again, and it's really tough for those hitters to make that adjustment against that downward action.
You'd think some of these guys have been watching the games over the years and know that he's trying to throw you a sinker to get you to roll over. And this is when you got, as a hitter, you got to stay back and try to drive the ball into left center field. He does such a good job of just changing speeds a little bit to get you out in front. There it is again.
There's your ground ball. That's your shortstop. That's your third baseman, and just shy of the double play. So they had the shift on. So that goes 6-5.
So they got the shift going right there, and he makes a good pitch, just a off-speed pitch, a little something off it, tails. This is why they got the shift. Nice little turn by Carp, playing short for a couple of minutes.
I bet he could do it. I don't know if he could do it every day, but he's such a good athlete. He'd be able to handle that. Now, we're not talking Ozzie Smith, but he could handle it.
He definitely could handle it.
Here's Escobar, and that's a base hit into right field. Garcia on his way to third. Ball is bobbled by Piscotty, and it's quickly back into the infield. So runners at first and third, and 1 out for John Hicks. Second error by the Cardinals.
You can see the grass, how it's cut. A lot of people don't realize and see the different colors in the grass, and that's the way the blades of grass are growing. And I hated when they cut the field that way. I wanted to just stay consistent, but every time it touches a different color, the ball changes directions, and that's not fun for an outfielder. It's part of the game, but
Hicks with a high fly ball into center, backing up Grichuk. Runner will score, and it's 1-0 Minnesota. Third RBI by John Hicks this spring, and the Twins grab the lead here in the top of the 5th.
We got their time today.
You stand out there in right field, and you feel like you're on an island all by yourself. Sometimes there's really nothing you can do. You try to watch the ball in your glove, and just they call it when it snakes. It's basically coming out there like a snake. It's going back and forth for every blade of grass it hits, and you take your eye off just a split second, or you've caught so many ground balls over the years, you know where it's going to end up, and sometimes it just right to the edge of your glove, and you got a nice little air on you. Nothing more frustrating as an outfielder. It's you're on the island out there all by yourself, and you're just as mad.
Here's Max Kepler. The grounds crew ever come to you and say, how do you want it cut in center field? I know they talk to the infielders a lot.
Actually, no. I would go to the grounds crew and I'd say, hey, listen, enough of that. Make it look good, but make the line straight. I've actually asked them to cut it kind of straight up the middle before, and they've been great. In St. Louis, I mean, Billy's been great. Those guys out there are so good at their job. And I said, it looks great either way, but please don't crisscross the lines. It just makes it harder on my job. But I told him, start up the middle, please, and then just kind of angle out. At least,
sure.
You know, at least everyone's kind of getting some straight lines. But when they start crisscrossing and doing all that, it really does. I know it's a minor issue, but it really doesn't make it hard on a routine ground ball.
And you would see that, too. I know I used to watch you during batting practice. You would take a lot of ground balls out there just to see what kind of movement you're going to get off the grass.
Yeah, every day. I would take ground balls every day, one, to get loose and to get my blood going, and then just to get loose and throw. We kind of would throw to second base, throw to third base sometimes, but just running around out there. Sometimes you have to force yourself to get loose before a game when you get late in the season and legs are heavy and arms heavy. You got to do whatever it takes, and sometimes just going out there and taking ground balls is the thing to do.
See if that ball snakes a little bit on Piscotty, who's a little more hesitant that time in charging that baseball.
Yeah, you got to stay back, and you see the last second, the last bounce bounced up. Mm-hmm. So it's not as easy as it looks out there every day.
It's a third hit allowed by Manus. And we're back to the top of the lineup. Jorge Polanco, the switch hitter. Yeah, that ball came up on him, too. Polanco is 0 for 2. A breaking ball taken low. 1-0 Minnesota on an RBI by John Hicks. Trying to figure out a position for Polanco for Minnesota. Plays mostly second in the Dominican League. But they have a very good second baseman in Brian Dozier, who was signed through 2018. And last year, the 22-year-old played in 4 games with Minnesota. Been called up 4 different times in his career.
I'm sure he'd like to put an end to that.
You bet. He was teammates with Miguel Sano in the Dominican since they were 12, so those two know each other quite well. As he was signed as an international free agent in 2009. It's amazing. Those kids are signed at 16, 17, playing baseball all their lives. And you're coming to a new country, you're leaving your family, and you're 16 years old. Not an easy thing to do.
I can't imagine it being easy. And you come here, and only lately it seems to be there more Latin players where they can lean on each other. But I remember when I was coming up, there wasn't a whole lot. And those guys would kind of just, they'd sit there in the corner by themselves in their locker. And, you know, there's not a whole lot of people to talk to when your language isn't, you know, when you're speaking Spanish only. And these guys work so hard and trying to get the English down. You got to feel for them at times. I mean, it is definitely, you think about yourself. I went through that experience. I went down to Venezuela, and I played in a town where no one spoke English. Oof. So it was tough. It was definitely, you had to really lean on the American players. And I think there was only 4 or 5 at the time. So that's all you had.
O has an interpreter that's with him. I think back to So Taguchi, who did not, who was one of our favorites.
So did a great job. He worked hard on his English.
That's driven down the right field line and hooking foul, home run distance, and right off our television truck, it looks like. Everybody all right in there? Mike Helling telling us that hit a square on top of the truck.
That's what we just said, Mike.
Wake them up in there.
I think So Taguchi did some English school or some lessons in the off season, and
That's something that the organization, as you know, being around all the players and the young guys with the STEP program and different things, that they have kids then English classes. The Cardinals do. Many organizations do that just so they can get acclimated to trying to speak the language. 2-2 pitch. Misses down and in.
Some of those kids find themselves back in school thinking, I didn't sign up for this.
No.
I thought I was going to play baseball.
I'm sure they do appreciate it, though, once they can figure out just to communicate a little bit. A lot of guys go home and watch TV, trying to figure out and pick up little things with that. 3-2. Runner goes from first, and a hot shot off of Holiday. And safe at first. Let's hope Matt's okay. That has been the first time this spring he's had one of those that come at you, those screamers.
I hope that hit him in the chest. That ball hopped up on him, too. There's really nothing you can do there. You can see that's one thing that's going to be hard for him to get used to. I don't see on the replay, but when you get set as a first baseman, you have to be set. You know, and as an outfielder, you get that extra jump step, and that kind of delays your process a little bit. And that's a tough ball to catch, even with the bounce, but you don't have the time to adjust like you do in the outfield, and it goes really fast.
I'm not sure if he got that off the chest, the collarbone, maybe a little bit of the face.
Well, he's not rubbing it.
No.
He's a tough guy, so.
Better man than me. Here's a ground ball that's hit to second. And the Cardinals will check on Matt Holliday as the Twins pick up 2 and they strand 2. Midway through 5. Twins on top. In for Minnesota is Brandon Kinsler. We saw him pitching with Milwaukee for the last 3 years. Let's go back to the Holiday play and the setup, Jimmy, that you were talking about for a first baseman.
Well, I was just trying to explain here, as an infielder, you have to be have so much less movement, and you got to get set and stay set. You can see Matt here, he takes a little jog step and the ball just hops up on him, and you can see right in that running lane right there, that is the worst place for a ground ball to hit, because if you hit a footstep, the ball could hop in any direction. It's amazing what one little footstep can do to that baseball, and you can see it hopped up on him and caught him by surprise. But that's something he's gonna, I'm sure Okendo will have some words of advice for him and how to really stay still and just, I mean, there's not really much more you can do with that.
Jed Jerko loses the bat and almost gets the coaching staff.
It's a dangerous game all of a sudden.
Absolutely. No balls and 2 strikes.
Decapitated a couple of coaches.
I'm curious, and I'm sure we'll talk to Matt after the game, but where that hit him on the body. Was it the chest, the collarbone? You've seen infielders, they get on the collarbone, and that stays with you for weeks. Jerko grounded out to short, first time up, and a swing and a miss. So Kinsler comes in, strikes out the first man he sees.
You want to know how fast this game's going. You watch the replay of that coaches trying to react to a bat being thrown.
Right.
And they're reacting. The ball's hitting the screen behind them.
Matt seems to be okay.
They seem to be okay. All good so far?
Yeah.
Long game to go.
So here is Matt Adams. A little variation of the shift. He tried to bunt against the shift first time up. Did that earlier in a game here in spring where it worked. First time up today, did not. Couldn't get it past the pitcher, and that's hit out of play. The Twins have to be thrilled with what they saw from Tommy Milone today. Milone with 2 strikeouts in 4 innings, gave up 1 hit, and that was a double to Holiday. The 1-1. You know, you think about bunting against the shift, and you can't catch the ball with the bat, so to speak, because you can't deaden it. You've got to get it past the pitcher.
Yeah, you definitely. That's one of the things. If you're going to do it, even more so, it's got to be fair or foul, and it's got to be pushed out there pretty good.
Adams a strikeout. Kinsler has struck out the first 2.
He knows that, and I'm sure he would take that first at bat back if he could just get it a little bit. Because really all he had to do is just get it out there. I mean, he made a great bunt for a sacrifice bunt, but sometimes, like I said, the speed of this game will get you. Good breaking ball right there.
So here's Garcia. Looks at a pitch low. Kinsler has struck out the first 2, signed a minor league deal with an invitation to Major League Camp for the Minnesota Twins. And the 1-0 pitch. It's sharply and fair inside the third base line and down into the corner. Garcia again, another hard hit ball. Everything he's hitting right now is hard. He's 1 for 2 today.
He's been swinging the bat really well early in spring. It is so nice to see a guy like that come in here, be comfortable, swinging the bat, works hard on defense. Great kid to be around.
You were telling me he's kind of a quiet guy, but really listens and takes what you have to say in.
Yeah, he's very he's listening to everything. He's going out there and he's swinging the bat. What a great addition so far in spring.
Garcia with a base hit out to shallow left. The relay to the plate is not in time as the ball scoots away, and Greg Garcia delivers with a single to get the Cardinals on the board, and it's now a 2-1 game.
And as you can see right there, Anthony Garcia can run too.
That's a hard hit ball to left, and that play wasn't even close at the plate.
Talk about this enough, but he's doing it all right now. He's swinging the bat well, and you can see right here, runs the bases correctly and runs them hard. Not taking anything for granted.
There is Eric Fryer, who did have a brief call-up with Minnesota in his career. Pinch hitting for Yadier Molina. Tying run at second. And a breaking ball taken low. Talked about how Fryer is from the same hometown as his manager, Mike Matheny, Reynoldsburg, Ohio. Those two have forged a friendship now over the last couple of years. Two balls and no strikes. Molina did hit with one plate appearance today, but did not swing the bat.
We got 4 innings in worth catching Mike Leake, and that's as important as anything right now. Getting your pitcher, getting one of your starters out there with the catcher. Trying to get on the same page.
2-1. I believe O is going to come in this game. He's been getting loose in the pen. I'm sure that's probably by design, because Park, the big slugger from Korea, is due up third. Looking ahead to the sixth. Ouch. Fryer chopped it off the plate, and it looked like it hit him in the face.
This game has gotten dangerous all of a sudden.
The holiday play, the bat really caught the coaching staff of the Twins, and now that play. There's O getting loose. The 2-2 to Eric Fryer. Fryer trying to extend this inning to Matt Carpenter. Left-hander begins to throw in the pen for Minnesota. Tying run, Greg Garcia at second base. 2-2 pitch. Pulled foul. Kinsler struck out the first two he saw. That was Jericho and Adams. And then it was Anthony Garcia. Now with 18 total bases, he picked up a double inside the third base line. Greg Garcia slapped a base hit to left to get the Cardinals on the board. And now it's Fryer.
Up right. Shoot him up the middle.
It's another 2-2 pitch on its way. Called third strike. They have been a high strike. Fryer didn't like it. The Cardinals, though, pick up their first run of the afternoon on a base hit by Greg Garcia to score. Anthony Garcia sliding in safely. 2-1 after 5. Mike Leake, 54 pitches, his second spring start, and was outstanding with 6 strikeouts and 4 innings of work. Looked really good, didn't he, Jimmy?
He did. That's all you can ask for in spring training, especially your second start. But don't want to say he looked like mid-season form, but he looked really good, and that is definitely a great sign, positive sign for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Sungwon Oh is your new pitcher. And the first pitch taken for a strike by Trevor Plouffe. He's 0 for 2 today. An accomplished closer in Korea and Japan is 0.
I'm going to have to say our Korean audience is very happy right now. They have to see both of their stars.
We were talking with the members of the media that had followed O, and also Park, who is in the lineup today for Minnesota. And they said that the country would be glued to see these two guys match up potentially, and we would have that after Vargas, who is on deck. Oh, with nearly 357 saves in his career. He's got that little hesitation. You see some of those guys that do come from that area of the world, that hesitation when they pitch. Got a little funky delivery with the leg kick. It's fouled back.
Keeping their balance. Balance is so important to pitchers. I think they stress it a little bit more over there, but they do. A lot of those guys have that little bit of pause. And I wonder if that's just a concentration pause or a balance pause.
Yeah.
That's something we need to figure out.
Popped up. The right side. Garcia calling for it. And he has it for the out. So O gets the first man.
See all those Japanese players and now Korean players always under control on the mound. It's just something that you notice, and it really, I mean, even as a player when I played, you really paid attention to that. See one of those guys is just always in control.
That's his interpreter there on the left, Eugene, sitting next to Derek Lilliquist, the Cardinals pitching coach. One out. Vargas takes a ball low. If the Cardinals wanted to, so say, for instance, Derek Lilliquist or Mike Matheny wants to go out and visit with O, they would be allowed to bring the interpreter out there as a part of this, which would be unique to say the least.
Eugene can get some TV time. He's getting some TV time now, but it's got to be a touchy role for an interpreter. You're in a big league clubhouse. You're just an interpreter. It's a huge part of what's going on.
And this is popped up to the left side, taken there by Jed Jerko. So we get the matchup with Park and O here. O is such a celebrity in his homeland that when he appears in games for the Cardinals, telecasts of KBO games are expected to be interrupted to get away from their hometown team to show him.
That's something right there.
It really is.
And the guys we spoke to earlier got to be excited right now.
And a strike.
And they were excited to see their stars.
Oh,
the Korean
no doubt.
media. He was fired up.
Talked about it the other day that O has really enjoyed how spring training is conducted here in the United States. Not nearly as much running. He said a full day of running at Cardinals camp would be basically the warm-up where he was from. That they put such an emphasis on running for their pitchers. 1 ball, 1 strike. So fun matchup here. Last year he had 41 saves. He's 33. Pitched in Korea and Japan. Really took something off that pitch.
See, the Cardinals have made a really conscious effort to pitch him inside today. Keep him from getting his hands extended.
The 2-2. And he struck him out. So O strikes out Park. And one of the fun matchups here this afternoon. Midway through 6, Minnesota on top. A score of 2-1. 10-year anniversary to the pages of the new Post-Dispatch book, Busch Stadium, a decade of excellence. Highlights include photos, memories, season recaps of each year, and excerpts from Derek Gould and Rick Hummel. Don't wait. Order Busch Stadium, a decade of excellence, now at stltoday.com/BuschBook. These are some of the matchups that you would probably see in regular season if Ryan O'Rourke would break camp with the club. A lefty-lefty matchup here with Matt Carpenter. He drops in a strike. He's called up to the major leagues for the first time in July of last season. So he made his major league debut against the Baltimore Orioles. 1 ball, 1 strike. Guys like this, Jimmy, in your career, when you faced a lefty-lefty and it got so specialized at the end of your career with late-inning matchups, what are you looking for as a hitter and trying to pick up little tendencies?
Gosh, you just try to get the ball up in the zone. A lot of these guys don't like to throw strikes or to give up hits with guys in scoring position. So the biggest thing for me was to try to not swing at balls. Carpenter does a great job against left-handers of being so under control and being able to swing at all pitches. I try to pick out a fastball and try not to swing at a slider, because usually that slider is just a out pitch that they try to get you to chase. So, you know, you also have to know your personnel and know which guy is going to come after you and know which guy doesn't mind walking you.
Carpenter waits on the pitch and picks up a base hit. It's fair down the right field line. He's thinking 2. On his way to second, diving in head first with a leadoff double. We said that an awful lot. Doubles, doubles, doubles off the bat of Matt Carpenter. It's a good job of staying back on that.
Yeah, and part of the reason why he hits so many doubles is because he's running hard out of the box. And you see, once again, he hits the ball, and he's going to take a chance right here. I thought when this ball was picked up that the right fielder had a chance to throw him out, but just goes to show you they don't throw the ball in the money all the time, and takes a good turn and slides in safely.
Last year, he led the league in doubles with 44. It's Jacob Wilson, the pinch runner for Carpenter. His day is through. Could be the final at-bats of the afternoon for Piscotty and the man on deck, Matt Holliday. Cardinals trying to tie this game up or take the lead. 2 balls and no strikes. Piscotty has struck out and also lined out to right. Into center field. Wilson had to make sure that got through. He'll stop at third base, and Piscotty picks up a base hit. He's 1 for 3. So great opportunity here for Matt Holliday.
You can see here on nobody out especially, but ball's not hit really hard and it's in the air. He does a good job of making sure he's not getting doubled off. With no outs, you can take that chance just going to third base. As we talked about earlier with the runners, not trying to force anything, staying on the base paths without getting thrown out. Can't score if you're getting thrown out, making mistakes.
The last 5 years with runners in scoring position, Holliday has hit .379. That's tops in Major League Baseball.
This is a great position to be in as a hitter. All you have to do is hit a decent fly ball, stay inside the ball, and just try to loft one up in the air and get the run home, try to get it out of the way. Of course, you want to hit a home run, but you really want to get this run in.
And Holliday lifts a fly ball into shallow center. Rosario with the catch. Runner will tag. That's Wilson. Throw to the plate is offline. And good base running on both ends as Wilson scores. Hazelbaker to second base, and this game is tied at 2. Cardinals have seen Hazelbaker just tagged up from first base. He's a tall, lanky kid, but they like the way that he runs.
That's a great job by Jeremy Hazelbaker right there. That ball is young. You know, a lot of young players try to throw the ball too hard, and high throw right there, missed the cutoff man. Now you have a guy in scoring position with only 1 out.
And here is Randall Grichuk. Hazelbaker is running, throw down to third, and he is out. But no, he's safe. They missed the tag.
You can see in disbelief, catcher and the third baseman are standing there asking what's going on. Yeah, he just missed the tag. He took it for granted he was going to slide right into the bag. And give the umpire credit right there for staying with that play. You'd like to make sure that the tag is actually applied.
Infield in. You know, with replay now, say 5 years ago, that's an automatic out. But with replay, umpires stay with those tags to make sure that that officially is a tag on the body.
Yeah, for sure. And as an infielder, sometimes you swipe the tag, and he kind of just laid it in there, made it easier for the umpire.
Inside to Grichuk. It's 3-0. They turn him loose on 3-0.
I'm sure they turn him loose. I'm not so sure if I'm the hitter right now with those pitches right there, and I'm looking to swing yet.
Grichuk has hit a ball sharply to short and also flied out to shallow right. 0 for 2 today.
Great Rod Cruz said if you're going to swing 3-0, you better make sure you know what you're going to get.
And do something with it.
And definitely do something with it. Don't get cheated. You could hit a double in the gap, come back, and he would say, how did you miss that 2-0 pitch? And he was like, what are you talking about? You fouled it off the other way. You should have been out in front of it.
3-2 is taken high.
It's good at bat.
So O'Rourke has come in, giving up a double to Carpenter to start the inning. Then a single by Piscotty. Holiday, the sac fly, RBI to tie it up. And that's the afternoon for Randall Grichuk. Brings in Jed Jerko. Washington will pinch run for Randall Grichuk. So runners at the corners. One down. Jerko is 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a ground out. Looks at a fastball low and away. No activity in the Minnesota pen.
Another good example right here. All you're trying to do is just to lift a fly ball. Stay out of the double play. Be patient. Get a ball up in the zone. This is where you try to make hitting easy, where you just really try to stay back, stay inside something. You think it's so easy to hit a fly ball. To stay inside it, hit the ball up in the air, try to hit it the other way to make sure you do the right job.
There's your double play. 6, 4, 3 on the double play. So the Cardinals strand a runner. Jerko hits into the double play, and he is 0 for 3 this afternoon. We played 6. This game is tied 2-2. Giveaways throughout the 2016 season, including Holiday, Rosenthal, a special 2006 Final Out dual bobblehead, and much more. Get your tickets through a 5 or 10 game pack or as an individual ticket, on sale now at Cardinals.com. Gomber is your new pitcher for St. Louis. Oswaldo Arcia. He's at the plate. That swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gomber made the spring debut against Florida Atlantic. That's where he played his college baseball and made the start that afternoon. They talked about a much improved breaking ball. He was on fire in the second half of last year in the minor leagues. He went 15-3 at Peoria. There's the fastball, and it's a base hit into right. Bobbled just a bit. Runner stays put. If you're looking for an update on Johnny Peralta, back at camp. Had surgery. And it's really the first time that an injury will cost him significant time. He's played 146 games in 8 of the last 9 years. So it's rare that he misses time, and unfortunately that's going to be a big, big loss for the Cardinals.
It's going to be a little test for him. Not knowing what to do with yourself when you're not playing every day. That's definitely something you got to work on when you get hurt as an everyday player.
What do you do?
Drive yourself crazy. There's days you go through that period where you just don't want to work out. You get frustrated, and then you get your workout done, and you feel like you're in the way at times. And then if you get left home from a road trip, it's like the weirdest deal. You just basically do whatever you can. Obviously, it's just a thumb injury, so he's, after surgery, he's got to sit there and not do anything. And you try to maybe run a little bit and keep your legs moving. The worst thing you can do is not do anything and just take it for granted. But he can get himself back in shape.
Escobar hits it down the left field line and out of play. Eduardo Escobar has struck out back in the 3rd, and then a base hit in the 5th. He's 1 for 2. Old buddy Dave Freese. Good to see that David signed, and we'll see him a bunch in the National League Central Division. He got a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was working out a lot down here in the offseason here in Jupiter.
Saw him just before I came down and couldn't believe he hadn't signed yet. He looked in great shape. In good spirits. He thought he would sign. He was a little worried, but he thought he would sign soon, and I'm glad to see he did. That's going to be a good ballpark for him. Hit the ball the other way in the air.
That's short
porch and right.
Yeah. The high fence, 21 feet high.
I think it's 21 and a half, to be correct.
Is it?
I'm just kidding.
Hey, I take your word for it, because
I love the fact you're all over it.
Half the time you were scaling these walls and you knew exactly how tall they were.
That's one of the ones I didn't. I wanted to stay away from. That's
the chain link fence
and the taller fence. I'll tell you what, it's really funny is the short fence and the tall fence. It's a totally different world. You run back on a ball here, so to speak, and if you keep running, it's over your head. It's a homer. You run back on a ball like that, and you don't know whether you should stop and play the carom or keep trying to catch it. I'm sure you've seen plenty of games over the years where one of the outfielders from whatever corner it may be looks ridiculous because they either stop too early or they run too far. It's right. That's why as a center fielder you have to work your butt off to get over there and help out, to take all the pressure off of those guys and let them go after the ball.
The 2-2.
Obviously Boston comes to mind. But when you go to a place like that, especially Boston, Pittsburgh maybe not so much because the chain link fence will deaden the ball, but you really have to know as a left fielder that your center fielder is going to be there to help you out. And if you've watched enough games in Boston, you even know that the shortstop and the third baseman will even get out there to help out. And I mean, that's a big, that takes a lot of pressure off.
Did you usually set the guys where you wanted them in left and right? You were kind of the captain, if you will?
Yeah, you have to as a center fielder. The biggest thing is you saw the collision last year in Pittsburgh with Piscotty, and that's the main reason why as a center fielder you want to tell your corner guys what side of the field you're on, is to give them a chance to be aggressive in that gap, and the other guy, hey, I'm on your side, so heads up. So, as an outfielder, as a center fielder, the one thing to do is direct traffic is to really basically keep guys from getting hurt. You want to make sure your infielders are getting out of the way when the outfielders are running in, and you want to make sure that everyone knows where they are. I mean, you can take a look, as you see right here. There's a lot of ground right there between center and left, and if you get an overhead shot of everywhere, I mean, there's a lot of green grass out there, and a lot of times you find your right fielder and your left fielder are so worried about that corner that they start to creep over because they feel like they're all by themselves in that corner and they don't want to give it away.
0-1 pitch and a ground ball hit left side. Throw goes across the diamond, the stretch. Runner does advance from second to third, and there's out number 2.
I found that the biggest thing for a center fielder for me is you can't really tell right here, but is to get your corner outfielders to let that corner go. You have to convince them that when the ball goes down in that corner, right field especially, it's probably going to be a triple. It's not your fault. Left field, you just kind of get over there the best you can and try to get it in, but you have to have those guys. Everyone's got to be protecting some part of the diamond, and you got to let them know that it's okay to not be in a certain area sometimes.
So would you rather see them bunched in left center, right center?
You're playing the hitter, each hitter, and you have to. I worked with Dave McKay so much in the day, and there's an area you have to give up. You're going to have to give up either a gap or a line, and you got to pick which one you think is the lesser of the chance that the guy's going to hit the ball either into one gap or in one corner, and you just got to roll with it. And sometimes, like as I said, as a right fielder, even though you feel like you're out there by yourself, you're going to have to give up that right field line in order to cover where you think the ball's going to go the majority of the time. Let me tell you, when you play with some veteran outfielders, they don't want to give up that corner. They feel like all the pressure's on them. And that's the job of a captain, of an outfielder, of a good center fielder, is to take the pressure off of those guys and let them know, hey, don't worry about that corner. I'll take responsibility for it.
3-0. And a strike on Max Kepler.
I don't know if you can see it, if we could get a good shot of the left fielder. His feet, you can tell the left fielder doesn't move around a whole lot in this ballpark. No matter which left fielder is at his feet, you can see the dead grass. And if you look at center and you look at right, they're moving around a little bit more.
There's a base hit into center field, and a run will score. So Kepler puts Minnesota back on top to make it 3-2. So 2-out base hit for Max Kepler, the number 3 prospect in the Twins organization, rated by Baseball America. And now it's Jorge Polanco. It's gotten dark here at the ballpark.
Yes, it has.
Might have one of those mid-afternoon Florida showers that come in, drench the field, and then it's about 20 minutes. Game over.
I think you have to put $1 in the kitty for that conversation right there.
I'm jinxing it.
You're jinxing the rain.
A line shot out to left, and a base hit. Drops in front of Garcia. So back-to-back singles off of Gumber here in the 7th inning. And Polanco is 2 for 4 on the afternoon. Brings in Ryan Sweeney. This will be his first plate appearance, pinch hitting for Eddie Rosario. And with that, the Cardinals are going to get some activity going in their pen. The Twins, they train on the other side of Florida in Fort Myers. It's the second time these two teams have met this spring. Dean Kiekeffer starts to get loose in the pen for the Cardinals, a lefty specialist. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. I think that's going to be one of the interesting things to watch this year. In talking about center field, but Randal Grichuk, he has not played a lot of center field at this level. This is the best level in the world, obviously. So you start playing this every single day, and the pressure that maybe you feel, depending on how comfortable you are. You can play all 3 outfield spots, but that'll be something to watch this year.
It's one of the things we talked about right away was taking charge and taking responsibility. If he comes in a couple times when there's a situation that might look like it's a little funky and he walks up to Mike and says, hey, that's my fault, he gets the respect of those guys on the corner, and then they start to trust him. And I told him that's one of the first things you're going to have to do, even if it's spring training, even if it's not your fault. You've got to go in there and take control and let them know you have their back.
Time to stretch. Minnesota regains the lead. A 2-out base hit to make it 3-2 Twins. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by your local Hyundai dealers. Visit buyhyundai.com. Well, they noticed as well. It's gotten a little bit dark, so the lights are on here at the ballpark, and a new pitcher is in. Alex Meyer for the Twins. Where's number 51? They'll face Adams to start it off.
Something so simple as that is so frustrating as an outfielder for me, or even I think an infielder. I want the lights on. I'm like, save the money somewhere else, turn the lights on so I can see what's going on. And as a hitter.
Minor leagues might have been a little bit different, too, because those minor league parks, some, not all, are not lit well.
No, they're not. And you know what? In the outfield for me, Chicago, Wrigley is not lit up at all behind you. And then it gets really dark and scary out there when the wind's blowing.
Oh, yeah. As Adams hits the deck. We're talking about ballparks and playing center field, playing the outfield. I would think Wrigley has got to be one of the toughest spots because of the brick and the ivy and the wind. And, it changes inning by inning sometimes. You had pretty good luck in Cincinnati, I'll say that.
You know what gets me, too, is the outfield grass being so thick and a little bumpy. And kind of, you can feel mentally like you can't run, and that kind of worries you sometimes because you're running in really thick grass. Obviously, a smooth playing surface you'd like to play on, but not all the ballparks are smooth like you want it.
What's on Tap is presented by Budweiser. Will come your way at noon here from Roger Dean Stadium. Our Budweiser What's on Tap. The Tigers and the Cardinals as the day is through for Matt Adams. We'll see a pinch runner. And now it's Anthony Garcia. Garcia is 1 for 2 with a double down the left field line. Where the Cardinals have been running a ton this spring. They picked up their 24th stolen base of spring here in this game. And that's Magneuris Sierra, who's opened some eyes in this camp. One of the top prospects for the Cardinals, and he is a threat to steal. 0-2.
I was wondering if you could tell that was him or not.
Just by the body type, I can tell. You know, he's not a big guy. I'm talking about Sierra there wearing number 97. Had a great game in a game that we televised a few days ago. Was our player of the game. A couple of hits and an RBI. Brought over from minor league camp. He is leaning, not running, and the 0-2 is a little flare into shallow center, and the catch is made. Sierra back to the bag at first, and there's one down.
I was thinking that was McElroy's.
He's got the same body type, too.
I thought he had 97 on the other day. I can't think. They start throwing these guys out here so fast. Like I told you, they're so fast running, you can't tell what number they're.
Who's caught your eye this spring?
You know what? Well, obviously, Sierra the other day had a great game. I'm liking what Garcia's doing, Anthony Garcia. I'd like to see, I haven't got a chance to really see Charlie Tilson play. You know, sometimes it doesn't have to be the guys in the big league. You know what they're going to do when they come to spring training, and you kind of have to let them do what they do, which is get ready.
Garcia dropping down a bunt, and they get him by a step. So Greg Garcia is 1 for 3 with an RBI. Sierra advances into scoring position.
You have to let those big leaguers get ready for camp, and sometimes you're more watching the younger players, and some of these guys that come up, and like I said the other day, it's really fun to watch the young kids come up and compete and let them know, hey, it's not much different. You just have to be more consistent.
Now Eric Fryer with 2 outs, runner at second base. Fryer called out on strikes back in the 5th inning on a high strike. Breaks his bat, hit to short. And the Cardinals will strand a runner. So we played 7, and the Twins have a 1-run lead. It's 3-2 on Fox Sports Midwest. To 2, Minnesota with the lead as Matt Holliday's day is through. What did he accomplish? Well, he got an RBI, but he also picked up a double in the gap at right center. That vintage Holiday swing to go down and get it. And also a tough ground ball at first base. Ball that hit off his chest or the collarbone. Oof. A tough day at the park for Holiday. Ouch. My partner Jim Edmonds just grimaced looking at that. I don't blame you. Dean Kiekeper is the new pitcher. He's a lefty specialist. He's been around for a long time in the Cardinals minor league system, but they've added him to the 40-man roster. Dean was a part of the Arizona Fall League and had good numbers there. And just part of the depth of this organization. Buck Brenton will be the hitter. Good pitch, hit on the hands for strike one. We talk about how Keycaffer, now with overpowering stuff, but jumps at the hitter, the lefties. Also throws from 3/4 too.
Well, and what you don't see every day is a guy like that coming right at you and inside. You're looking for a ball out over the plate to drive, and then he sneaks a little fastball in on the hands. So the first pitch, he wasn't, pretty much threw it right by him.
Dean was originally drafted in the 37th round by the Cleveland Indians. Did not sign. He played college baseball at the University of Louisville. And then the Cardinals picked him up. Draft pick 1099 in 2010. Here's Kenny's Vargas. One ball and one strike. Vargas, a switch hitter. He was robbed back in the 4th by Randall Grichuk. Was also popped out to short and grounded out 0 for 3 today. Taken low, and it's a count even at 2-2. Vargas last year 14 home runs. He had DH, first baseman for the Twins this year. 2-2 pitch, hit out of play. I guess if you're going to come all this way and you're a regular, might as well get your 4 at-bats in.
For sure. If you're going to come all this way, and you're hoping maybe tomorrow you get the day off.
Cardinals will have a day off tomorrow. Back in action on Wednesday. The 2-2. Keycaffer has got the first 2. Edward Jones is honored to sponsor the Cardinals Hall of Fame and the annual induction process that gives fans a voice in honoring the team's greatest players. It's an 8-man ballot on Cardinals.com/HOF. Make your selection for the 2 most deserving legends that will go into the St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Fame class. Vote now at Cardinals.com/HOF. Jason Isringhausen is on that ballot. Matt Morris, Scott Rowland, Joe Torre. That's it out of play, nothing in 2. What has turned out to be a real special weekend in August for the Cardinals. Jimmy was a part of that 2 years ago, the inaugural class of the Cardinals Hall of Fame. Uh-oh, here comes the rain.
Look what you did, Danny.
Yep. But let's have full disclosure here, Jim Edmonds.
Your full disclosure is Mike Helling might miss something.
No, I want to go back to why this has happened. You're the one that brought it up initially, and we told you that's a fine.
I'll put some money on you kidding.
Line drive out to left and a base hit.
You know what's funny is you can't really see that it's raining from up here. And all of a sudden, everyone just stands up at the same time and see ya.
They scatter quickly.
I would too here in Florida. It's not a California rain here in Florida. It's going to come down. I think that the very first time that I'd ever put my windshield wipers on high was here in Florida in my first spring training.
Born and raised Southern California.
Never had to put my windshield wipers on the high level until I came here one time.
And now you're loving the weather in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Are you used to the winters yet?
Yeah, the winters aren't too bad. I think what's more intriguing to me is how fast it can change.
Yes.
With that jet stream. You know, one day it's 30, the next day it's 60.
Right.
A couple days later, it can be snowing in 12.
It's about this time of year, too. You get the crazy weather in St. Louis. For those in Minnesota, it is cold. And I mean cold.
It stays cold.
Yes. The 1-1.
They don't have to worry about the jet stream a whole lot.
How far below zero will it get today? I love Minnesota.
I was going to say it's a great city.
Yeah.
And it's so neat now with the ballpark being downtown.
Beautiful park.
Literally walk out of the stadium and walk a block, and you're in the middle of everything in downtown. Restaurants and bars and nightlife and a park, and the excitement, I think, is just is really changed at that ballpark downtown.
Here's a 3-1 pitch. You know, our buddy Tom Mee is our longtime director of the Cardinals telecast, and his dad was the first ever employee of the Minnesota Twins, and he's been inducted into their Twins Hall of Fame, and hopefully resting comfortably and enjoying baseball today. Tom Mee Sr. Very nice man. Not sure about his son.
I was waiting for that.
Everybody I talked to that played at the old Dome said it was so hard to play the outfield there, except my partner today, Jim Edmonds, says, I loved it. It was great.
I was waiting for that. I don't even know if I was set up for that one, but it's just, I didn't mind it. You know what's really interesting there, though, is I think people got a false sense of security, because when daytime and you're taking batting practice, the sky, you know, it's a little different shade.
Right.
The color of the top is a little different shade. And when it got darker, it actually was closer to the color of the ball. And so I think everyone got that false sense of security. And then during the game, they got a little complacent. And
couldn't find the ball.
Yeah.
3-2 midway through 8. Midwest is brought to you by Bommarito, where price sells cars. By Shelter Insurance for your auto, home, and life. Visit your local agent or find us on the web at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Along with Jim Edmonds, I'm Dan McLaughlin. And a reminder that baseball is brought to you by Bud Light. Raise one to right now. I hope that youngster there has got a little sunscreen.
It's cute. Cute and tired.
Tired. Yeah. Candy rush is come and gone. Now you hit the wall. Mom and Dad want to stay for the remainder of the game. The kids like, get me out of here.
Or give me some more cotton candy.
Exactly. Here's Jacob Wilson. Wilson with a base hit into right. So once again, the Cardinals have the tying run on. Minnesota last year, 83-79. They finished second in the AL Central. And that broke 4 straight years of at least 92 losses a year. They're 3 games shy of the wild card. Surprised a lot of people in what has become a very competitive division when you think about Kansas City, Detroit, Minnesota, the White Sox. You got to figure Cleveland would be in there as Hazelbaker swings and misses. Make a case that the NL Central might be the most competitive in baseball, at least with your top 3.
Yeah, that division Minnesota's in now is just like, it's funny because the teams just kind of sneak up on you. If you're not really paying attention to baseball, you're not watching the middle of the country. You're watching LA and New York like everyone else in the world, or you're watching the Cardinals.
That's driven out to center field. Well hit. It's at the wall, and it is caught. What a catch out in center. And Wilson back to the bag at first as Hazelbaker gave it a ride.
I think he got that one. I'd like to see that, though. I'm one of those guys that you want to see him turn it loose because he's known for his speed. Might get a little handsy and push the ball around. I want to see him let it fly, and he did there.
It's Mastriani, the center fielder, coming up with that play. Part of the coaching staff, that catches your eye, a play like that. Going hard into the wall.
Yeah, covering that much ground, too, in this wind. The wind's not blowing as hard today, but it's still blowing.
Now Jonathan Rodriguez looks at strike 1. The story for the Cardinals today, the pitching of Mike Leake. 6 strikeouts in 4 innings. Wilson leaning at first base, not running. Let's take it for a ball high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rodriguez this spring, no home runs, couple of RBIs, average at 200. Two and 1. I think the goal of any team in spring training, just come out of camp healthy, and now the Cardinals dealing with the injury to Peralta, trying to get Molina healthy for opening day and swinging the bat. So we've seen Yadi catching. We have not seen him swinging the bat, which you would have to say would be the toughest part of his recovery. Just the surgery, 2 surgeries in the offseason, and the strength in the wrist and that hand, the thumb, gripping the bat.
We've still got, what, about 3 weeks? I think that's plenty of time for a guy like him to get ready to hit. I think he's been doing some swinging a little bit here in the cage, and I think you need a couple of weeks of hitting live in a game, maybe at the most. So, you know, I don't mind seeing watching what's going on now. I think he's going to have plenty of time to get himself ready, and I think it's great he comes out here and catches the guys. But
hit and run, perfect. Wilson on his way to third. That was done to perfection. Nice job by Jonathan Rodriguez, just guiding that into right. We've seen this a lot too, not just the stolen bases this spring by the Cardinals, but aggressive with the hit and run.
I mean, you can't draw it up any better than that, but that's another thing. You know, Mike's got to figure out who out there can handle the bat. You can't just let guys sit in there and take swings. You're going to need them to come up to the big leagues sometimes, and they're going to have to take orders, and part of those orders are hit and run, bunt, being able to run. So it's nice to be able to put on a play with a guy that's not in the big leagues yet and see what he can do. And it's a lot more nice when something works.
When it works.
When it works.
Not a swing and a miss and a double play.
It's like I was saying with Yadi, sorry. I think the hitting is going to be fine for him, and I think he's on a good pace right now. So hopefully people aren't worried about watching him not take a swing yet.
Now David Washington, former 15th round selection in 2009. Dean Anna is your pinch runner at first base. Wilson, your runner at third. Let's see if the Cardinals in this particular count want to do something with Anna, who does have some speed. 2 balls, no strikes. Washington, a big kid. He's 6'5", 250 pounds. Won the City Slam dunk contest while playing basketball in high school in San Diego. Say he's a very good athlete, moves well. Ground ball. A step on the bag for one, and it's a double play. Run does not count. That race to home plate, so Washington hits into a double play. It stays 3-2 as we head to the ninth. Cardinal fans, next time you want to grab Cardinals seats, get the StubHub app. Not only will you find seats you'll love whenever you want, you can find the best seat for your buck when you sort by the best value. So get the StubHub app today. More and more we're seeing Jeremy Hefner coming out of the pen for the Cardinals, former starter with the Mets. He's had 2 Tommy John surgeries, so just trying to get back into shape. The first pitch is a strike. It says minor league totals, 50 games. There's a broken bat hit to first, and Hefner will complete it as everybody waiting for the official call from good friend of Jim Edmonds, Angel Hernandez.
I'd like to think that you'd know if you caught the ball or not right there, but kind of got me a little worried.
Washington was ready to go around the horn with it.
And then he was worried. That's the thing. When you're a young player, you don't want to take anything for granted.
Yeah.
Started to whip it around the horn and then thought better of it. Probably the smartest play he could have made was to make sure.
Stuart Turner at the plate with 1 out. How was your relationship with the umpires?
It was usually pretty good. I mean, I understood how hard it was to do their job. I always found it fascinating when I was playing first base, how very calm and friendly they were at first, and then under how much pressure they were the next night when they were behind the plate. And it was a totally different relationship.
Yeah. I remember when you were playing, you would dig in at big wide stance, and your head would be down, and that's how you would have it looked like to me, your conversations as Turner is hit by the pitch, but your conversations with the umpire, because you don't want to show him up, but you definitely still have to have a voice in the game that you're playing.
Yeah, I was taught at an early age to just keep your head down, and if you want to speak, speak. And most of the guys are great about it. You know, you're not always going to get along with the umpire. You're not always going to agree. I think the only time I really ever had a problem with an umpire was when they tried to tell me that they knew that they were right when I don't think they knew if they were right or not. And as a hitter, you know the strike zone. You know where. Never really had a problem with the base paths. I think that that's a bang-bang play, and no one really knows if anyone gets tagged. Everything's happening so fast. But as a hitter, you pretty much know the strike zone. So sometimes that got a little testy.
There's Max Kepler, runner at first. Yeah, Matt Carpenter is one of the best at taking balls and swinging at strikes, and everything is computerized now. It was to the point that they went back and reviewed his at-bats, and more times than not, he was right when he took a borderline pitch as opposed to what was called against him. I would think from an umpire's perspective, you've got to know that reputation too, and if he's questioning the zone, he might be right.
Well, and there's a difference too. We've all watched enough games to see a guy take a fastball down the middle and kind of give that disbelief to kind of show the manager,
right,
make you not look as bad. But you know, if you turn around and say something to the umpire, you better be sure. And I thought I was sure, because I didn't want to create any kind of ruckus that didn't need to be created, and I thought I had a pretty good idea, obviously not striding, and where the strike zone was, and so I was pretty open with that. And you know, I've gotten thrown out of a few games that I really didn't say enough to get thrown out of.
I remember one in particular, postseason play against Houston, with the game and the series on the line. And it was game 5, I think, against the Houston Astros in the 2005 NLCS. I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe it either.
That type of situation. I mean, this isn't in April or May. This is the playoffs.
And I didn't say anything to get thrown out of the game. And I think at that time we were having some issues with some umpires, and there was some pregame festivities going on over the last couple of weeks, and I think maybe just a little too much hype was going on beforehand, and I was kind of the product of that environment, but definitely didn't say enough to get kicked out. I know better than that. That wasn't a situation where I'm dumb enough to get kicked out of a game.
Here's Polanco, top of the lineup, up to the walk, issued to Kepler. Polanco a couple of hits today and an RBI. I mean, you guys are around each other so much too. You know the reputations of those that maybe talk too much, those that when they do talk to an umpire, it's probably deserved. And there should be an open communication between the player and the umpire too. That's part of the professionalism of the job.
You would think so, and you try to earn that respect by being respectful. I mean, it's not any easier, not even harder said than that.
There's a base hit into right. They will wave in the runner as it's bobbled, and because of that bobble, that makes it a 4-2 Minnesota lead.
Once again, right field is a little trouble today.
So Polanco a 3-hit day and a couple of RBIs. Hazel Baker started the afternoon in right, shifted to center, and back in right. A little short hop.
Took his eye off the ball just a little bit. As I said, sometimes you used to just, the ball's going to be right in your glove every time, and if you get a different hop, you take your eye off of it. Especially as a young player, guys want to make things happen so fast, and you want to try to be too quick. Can't emphasize enough how much catching the baseball first before you throw it.
Sounds easy, but it's not. We take it for granted.
Yeah, you definitely take it for granted.
There's Ryan Sweeney at the plate. 10 hits now for Minnesota. They lead it 4-2. You know, for young fans out there that want to know about how to charge the baseball from the outfield in that kind of play, what are you doing to get into a position to throw in a crow hop?
Just an athletic move. You're just basically charging the ball and trying to get your feet under control with momentum towards wherever you have to throw. And there's a lot of ways to be taught, but each player has his own unique way of crow hopping or stutter stepping or what have you. But I feel you can be taught a bunch of different ways, but the way you do it, if you do it right, the way you do it for your own body type is probably going to be the fastest. So I try not to put too much emphasis on teaching the exact way to get it done.
No one at the bag at first. Now Hefner is, and they get the out. Run does score. That makes it 5-2. That's Kepler that scores. I always thought your arm was good, but I thought your accuracy was what separated you from anybody else. You know, and that's something that I think we also take for granted with outfielders. You just wonder how much they're practicing in left center, in right center, throw to second, throw to a cut, throw to third, the various, you know, cuts that you have to have out there.
I learned early that throwing the ball as hard as you could wasn't the best way, and throwing the ball on the money with a little less, maybe 85, 90%, 75%, being able to throw strikes were way more important. And I probably threw 90% of the days, if not almost 100% of every game, I was out there throwing a few balls to second base and just working on bouncing the ball and my release point. And that's, like I was saying earlier in the game, that was my way of getting ready. I had to force myself to do something when you're not feeling good. And sometimes it's going out there, moving around, and actually forcing yourself to throw the ball.
5-2 Minnesota. 1 ball, no strikes. Buck Britton at the plate. And a ground ball pulled foul. It's kind of the lost art around Major League Baseball. Infield, outfield practice. You know, sometimes you'll see a team on the road. They'll have the guys get there fairly early, and they'll go out, you know, 2:30 in the afternoon and work on those things and then head back inside, cool off. But you don't see it every single day.
Yeah, guys don't throw as much as they used to.
Did you long toss a lot?
Yeah, I did. You know, it was just part of it. Once you start doing certain things like that, you have to keep going.
And Hefner hits his second here in the 9th inning. And Mike Matheny, the slow walk out to the mound. We'll see a pitching change, it looks like. Yep, he motions to the bullpen, and that'll be it. We'll tell you about the change as we step aside. Minnesota has added 2. They lead it 5-2. Josh Lucas, big kid, 6'6", 190 pounds. Last year he was at Palm Beach for the majority of the season, 41 appearances with a 1.29 ERA. And he also went to Springfield, AA affiliate of the Cardinals, appeared in 4 games there, 5 2/3. So he'll come in. He wears number 94, added before the game, and we'll see the big 6'6" right-hander Josh Lucas. And he'll get Vargas. Tough outing for Hefner. Hit 2, gave up a couple of base hits, a couple of runs. Two outs and 2 on. And a wild pitch.
Little rapid heart rate.
Ooh. Well, that's what you get. You know, a lot of these guys are added right before the game for protection in a bullpen, and you know their heart is racing. This is a chance for them to show what they've got.
Probably not expecting the pitch.
Exactly. Time is called as a ball got away from the bullpen of Minnesota. So Vargas with a base hit could extend this lead for Minnesota. The 1-0. Takes a healthy hat, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I mean, he looks like David Ortiz.
He does. He steps out of the box, same thing. People forget David Ortiz began with Minnesota, then became a star with the Boston Red Sox. Little chopper, hit to the right side. Aledmys Diaz makes the play. Minnesota strands 2. They pick up 2. It's 5-2 as we head to the bottom of the ninth. Mike Leake is today's Budweiser player of the game. 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs. He struck out 6. Very, very efficient was Mike Leake. His second start of the spring. It's 5-2 Minnesota along with Jim Edmonds. I'm Dan McLaughlin. And here is Aledmys Diaz. New pitcher in is Thompson of the Minnesota Twins, and that is hit down the right field line. And out of play. Aaron Thompson last season, 41 games. Not sure if that's Thompson or Jason Worth. Poor guy's going with that bearded look. That's ripped out to left field and a leadoff base hit. Diaz has had a 4-for-4 afternoon so far in spring training. That was over the weekend, and he's trying to stake his claim to the shortstop spot with Peralta out. And it brings in Magneuris Sierra. This is one of the top prospects in the Cardinals organization, ranked number 6 by Baseball America. As Sierra pops it up to the left side and out of play. That international signing class of 2012 has produced 3 of their top 10 prospects for the Cardinals. Alex Reyes being number 1. Sierra's in there. And Sierra probably returns to Peoria in 2016. His U.S. debut was in 2014, Gulf Coast League, and he won a batting championship. Hit .386. 0-2.
It's impressive at any level. 386.
386. The Cardinals talk about his speed. They think he's going to get bigger. He's got a good arm. He can run. And he strikes out here. So there's one away.
Pretty good slider.
It's probably not happening in the Gulf Coast League.
Probably not. It's the major transition. Those balls are not thrown for strikes in the minor leagues. You don't have to swing at them.
I was talking to some scouts the other day and asking them about Sierra, and they said it's going to come down to pitch recognition for him as he starts to climb the next level. What you find when you got to AA, AAA, you know, biggest differences in what you saw in the pitchers? Guys locating a slider, that kind of thing?
Yeah, and it's really funny because a lot of guys throw more strikes, so you're ready to hit more often, and you're more comfortable in the box. But they can throw all the pitches for strikes, and if you recognize a curveball or a changeup in the minor league, sometimes you don't necessarily have to swing. Where here, you better be ready to swing at everything, and obviously they go after your weaknesses and they stay with it. That is a huge deal. If they think you can't hit a fastball in, you're going to see 50 of them in a 3-game series. If they think you can't hit a slider, that's all they're going to throw you, and they'll take that chance. In the minor leagues, fastball away, breaking ball, move the ball around a little bit, and go on to the next guy.
Slider again. This is Anthony Garcia. No balls and 2 strikes. Garcia with a double today. Run scored back in the 5th, 1 for 3. When you think about it, this level too, the charts, the video, the scouting. It's incredible how much they can break down a player. Took something off, a little change of it looked like, and he strikes out Anthony Garcia.
And they even go if you're hot. If you're hot, they won't pitch to you, and you got to know that. And if you're not hot, they're going to come right at you. So there's a lot of different things that go into each and every night out here in the big league level.
There's Tommy Pham. Final hope for the Cardinals with 2 outs here in the bottom of the ninth. Pham lines it for a base hit into left, and Diaz on his way to third. So Tommy Pham in his first plate appearance picks up the base hit.
He was going to give you a good-hearted bat right there, and jumped on the first pitch. He does everything he does is aggressive.
Yes. You'd have to think with Borges now at the Phillies, Jay with San Diego, this is his opportunity to break camp, go north, stay healthy, which has always been an issue. Here's Michael Ullman, hitting .429 here in spring. Catcher that is split time with Fryer, backing up Yadier Molina. Cardinals like his bat, working hard this spring on his defense. Last year at AA Springfield, .273. And that scoots away. A run will score. That's Diaz. That makes it a 5-3 Minnesota lead. Ball in. So the tying run at the plate in Ullman. The 1-0. You see he's got that little tight slider, changeup.
Downhill. Get on top. Slider goes down and not just across.
Big difference. Randy Choate, that was a cross. Ullman, downward plane that he's seen. And he hits it out to left, but that'll stay in the ballpark, and this game is over. Hit it on the button. At 5-3 is our final here this afternoon as Thompson gets the final 3 outs.
Good game. A little sloppy again, but still spring training. Mike Leake, wow. What are you going to say about that? He's just keeps stretching it out and getting better each start, hopefully. And I like what I'm watching. I think this is, we're a couple days away from maybe seeing everybody at one time, getting a full squad out there and each game and seeing what we got to work with.
So the Cardinals drop this one by the final of 5-3. Right back to wrap things up in just a moment. 5-3 the final here on Fox Sports Midwest.